Hello folks, welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to be talking to you about which appliances to get and to avoid and why. Before I get started though, please make sure you hit that like button. It helps a lot on the YouTube algorithm and it allows my channel to get viewed by other people that might need this kind of help and might need this education for themselves. So help me out, share, leave some comments if you have any questions or any concerns on maybe a future topic, and then subscribe if you haven't already. So to break this down simply, when you're flipping a home or holding it for long term or buying it for yourself, those are three completely different opportunities for you to buy appliances that suit your needs. Number one, if you're buying it for yourself, buy whatever makes you happy. If you're going to be living there for a long time, buy what makes you happy. It's all about emotional appeasement. If you're going to be flipping, you need to realize that there's a difference between buying premium and quality and getting the appraisal's value out of it. If you're going to be holding long term, then you need to realize that this is a long-term quality play, not so much a value add play. For instance, depending on the property, it might behoove you just to buy the cheap brand and just get it out of the way. And here's something that works. Maybe it'll break down in a year or two or not. It's under warranty. I don't know. Most of your properties though, you should be getting what's called value brand. And I'll go over what that means here in a second. So when it comes to appliances, you have four categories. One, you have cheap. Pretty straightforward. You're getting the cheap value, the cheap quality, the cheap everything at the cheapest buck you can, just so you can get something in there and done for. That happens to be good for only certain things like cheap property or cheap rentals. If it's cheap, go cheap. Match it. Number two, you have what's called value. Now that's the most popular version. That's where you have your items that look like stainless steel, very nice looking. Maybe you can still kind of see that it's a simple 4-coil system, but it looks nicer, it's stainless steel. These are the ones where they work, they're functional, and they look nice, but that's it. Those are just plain functional. Those are the ones you're going to want to get for your properties that you're going to be holding long term. They're a little bit better to hold. They are good to put in properties that are decent, all the way to very good properties. I wouldn't say very high-end properties, but a very good property. They'll still be decent enough for the tenant to accept it and to pay you rent. Number three is what's called quality. So with quality, this is where you're getting into the realm of, yes, you've got fingerprint resistant stainless steel appliances now. The microwave has sensor modules. The fridge, maybe it has an ice maker and water dispenser, all this stuff. That's quality. That's where you're starting to get a little bit more of the premium features with your standard value brands. Those will be good for your high-end properties. So for instance, this property would be considered a high-end property. This was a very nice Whirlpool 10,000. This is actually more of a premium. And then that would be what would be considered a quality. So that's one of the LG fridges.
You can see this one with a little compartment door kind of thing. And after this model, I think is where they made it, and you can knock on it and it shows you what's inside.
Of course, you have your glass surface top. This would also be considered under value if you can find the what's called slide-ins or the standard range stove, which is the system, the whole system. And you can get the glass tops, that would still fall under, you can find them at pretty good prices, they're decent, and those would fall under value. And you might even be able to get them on the really cheap ones, probably from China, that still have the glass top under cheap. But I would not recommend that. Those will be good for your high-end rentals or your high-end flips or yourself, your quality brands. Number four, now you have what's called premium. Last best of the line. These are ridiculous. These are for your super luxury mansion homes kind of thing where you've got literally these fridges can run from $8,000 to $50,000 for a fridge. And You have your double compartment cooking. Sometimes you'll even see these built-in quads where you'll have 4 stacked. Those will run also 20, 30, 40 grand. So you're gonna be looking at, for a premium, you're gonna be spending at least 100 grand just for the appliances in your kitchen. That's more money than most people spend on their house remodel. So premium is gonna be just out there, gonzo bonzo, maybe good for you.
Are you rich people? If so, please give me a call.
For the majority of high-end flippers, for the majority of high-end rentals, you're gonna go with what's value to quality, okay? And let me go over why flipping is a bit different than what you think. Okay, so when it comes to flipping, you're remodeling a house, and every dollar that you put into it needs to increase the value of that property by at least $1. For instance, if I buy a property for 100 grand and I put $50,000 into that rehab, then I need to be able to increase the value of that property by at least 50 grand. Okay, so if you're buying value appliances for, let's say you buy it for $2,500 for your all your stuff, that's value. Stainless steel, everything's nice, it looks nice, but it's value, and I bought everything for $2,500. Typically, you can see that $2,500 in your appraisal, and it still might even count, depending on the appraiser you get, as a premium appliance, and they'll give you an extra credit for that. If you go quality, then what you're doing is sometimes you're going to get an appraiser that doesn't care what brand you get, what quality appliances get. They're just appliances, boom, done. I mean, you're just going to get whatever credit that they give you. Some appraisers, though, will give you the premium appliance. However, premium credit on your appraisal really only gives you enough to maybe break even on quality. So if I buy cheap, I can buy an entire kitchen for like $1,500. If I buy value, I can buy an entire kitchen for about $2,500 to $3,000. If I buy quality, I'm looking more around $4,000 to $5,000. And if I buy premium, that's just ridiculous. So let's not talk about that. But with quality, you're not going to get the dollar for dollar value in return that you would if you're just getting value, because it's still stainless steel, it still looks nice. The only difference are little tiny things like sensor modules and little things. Little things an appraiser is not going to give you credit for. So if you're flipping a house, I always recommend, if you're flipping underneath high-end homes, always go value on your appliances. If you're flipping high-end, always go quality. Never go premium unless your property is $1 million plus.
And once again, guys, if you haven't already, hit that freaking like button.
All right, folks, that's going to wrap it up for me. Hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one.